This time last week, my daughter Holly and I came fishing in this very spot and we caught a couple of yellowbelly and a Murray cod. Well, today I've come back exactly 1 week later and conditions have changed. Will the fish still be biting? Let's get some lines in and find out. Hey you! You're watching Robbie Fishing. Now before I set up, I just want to show you a couple of things. I'll give you a bit of a backstory. Holly and I came here fishing last week. We went down the river further and we weren't getting any bites. We were getting lots of shrimp nibbles. So we thought we'll come up here to this lagoon, where this lagoon runs off the main river, and see if we can catch a carp. I fished here, Holly fished just down there. Holly caught 2 yellowbelly down there. I was further up the lagoon thinking I might catch a carp, and I caught a Murray cod. Anyway, it was only small and I put it back. But the point I want to make, we had a lot of rain the Friday before last Sunday and there was a flush moving down the river. It hadn't made it here yet, but it was rising. I put my stick there and the water rose about an inch or so while we were here, so it was rising. Now just looking at the high water mark, it looks like it's risen way up here. So since we left, it had already come up to here. It had risen another couple of feet, but now it's dropped way back down. So I'm right at the tail end of the flush. Whether that's good for fishing or bad for fishing, I don't know. One thing I do know that it's bad for is it's created a very slippery fishing surface. So I'm gonna have to be very careful. We don't need any mishaps. Anyway, I'm gonna get set up and get the lines in. Now I'm doing things slightly different to normal. The last few times I've done this type of fishing, I've had 2 rods, both baited up with Jan-Jack worms. This time I'm going to have the worms on one rod and I'm going to have a yabby on the other rod, a small yabby, and I'm going to have a paternoster rig on both rods to keep my bait up off the bottom. I always like a paternoster rig when I'm fishing with yabbies. I've only got small yabbies because I'm targeting yellowbelly. There's my little yabbies. Right, you'll do the job. I'll put him on the hook. Now with my yabby, all I do is I just poke the hook straight through from under the tail to above the tail, just like that. Usually the fish will try and inhale at tail first, and that's where the hook will be. And I like a paternoster rig when I'm using a live bait like this. It just helps to prevent the yabby from crawling under a bit of bark or burying in the mud or something. I just had a nice bite. I reckon he's still there. That's a fish. Carpy looking. Got him. Oh, it might not be carpy. Fighting sort of yellowbelly-ish. Oh no, now it's carpy. It's just turned carpy. I wasn't looking, I was looking at my phone and I took me, oh, it's a big carp. I just happened to look up and my line was really slack. I now it's wrapped around the yabby rod. That's never ideal. Oh, you stupid fish. You've wrapped around me yabby rod. How do I fix this? I wonder if I can just go under it like that. Will that help? I think it has. I think I've separated them. It's a heavy fish. I haven't got my normal blue rod, my JD custom rod with me. I've got it. It's in the car. Shit, that's a big carp. No, I've caught bigger, but it's still quite big. I haven't got my JD custom rod with me. It's in the car. I've got it, but it was already rigged with a running sinker rig, and I wanted to use 2 paternoster rigs. This one was already rigged with a paternoster rig, so I don't know what that's from. If you look there, you can see there's a hole in the mud just there. Like something's a really fresh hole. I reckon a yabby must have dug that while the river was up, maybe. Talk about get distracted. I get distracted easily. This mud is so slippery. This fish is so heavy. It's not the longest fish I've ever caught, but it's certainly got some toe. Big. This is only 6-pound line. I've got to be honest, I've got no idea how long it's been on this rod. It's got to be up in the 60s. I'm going to guess about 65 for this fish. Certainly at the bigger end of the spectrum. Ooh. You can't net them until they're ready. When they're tired out and they're just laying there, you just drag their head over the net. As soon as you start chasing fish, you start having issues. Not quite ready just yet. Just got to watch this other rod here just in case something grabs that yabby. I was just about to sing, oh yeah, the fish are getting bigger, but I kind of can't because this is the first one. It can't be bigger than the last one because there hasn't been a last one. Come on, mate. While I'm waiting for him to tire out, what do you call a grandfather in a kayak? A paddle pop. Big shout out to Matt and Zep Allen. They sent me that one this morning. I reckon it's a ripper. A paddle pop. Right, are you ready yet? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready, Boots? Start walking! Whoa. Big! Right, you'll never guess what that axe is for. Sit. I'm gonna get a quick. I'm gonna guess 71. It's quite large-ish. 67. I'll go from there. 68. 68 fat centimeters. Awesome. Well, I've been fishing for over 3.5 hours and I've only caught one fish. But that's the nature of fishing. Some days are diamonds and some days are terrible. One thing I have learnt today though is that when I was here last week with Holly, the fishing was much better as the water was rising. The fishing was better ahead of the front than what it is at the tail end of the front as the water's dropping. Anyway, one fish beats no fish. Thank you all very much for watching.